Victor Wembanyama's new growth spurt is crazy. So you mean to tell me a 7'4", 7'5" dude, the future of the NBA, grew? 7'5" grew more? What type of witchery is this? What type of witchcraft is this?
Went viral 1,000 times before getting drafted because it was crazy to see someone that tall move and play basketball like that. And when he got in the league, it was crazy to see him make freaks like Anthony Davis or Rudy Gobert.
Bro, he made AD look like a guard, bro.
Look small. So people started asking, how tall is he really? Well, we got the official answer when he measured in at 7 foot 3.5 inches without shoes before the NBA draft. Case closed, like 7'4" in shoes. But since then, people have noticed something weird. The Spurs listed him at 7'4" as a rookie, but then they downgraded him to 7'3" before his second season. Did he shrink? No, the exact opposite. Photos came out of him standing.
How tall is Zach Edey? How tall is Zach Edey?
Next to guys with confirmed height like Zach Edey, and Wemby is clearly taller. So did Wemby?
Oh my, Zach Edey is 7'5". This nigga Wemby is 7'8". Holy shit! Holy shit! Giannis, you need to force a trade to the Spurs if you want some more rings, gang. If Giannis goes to the Spurs, if he gets traded to the Spurs and plays with 8-foot Wemby, boy, it's
guys with confirmed height like Zach Edey, and Wemby is clearly taller. So did Wemby actually grow and the Spurs are trying to hide that? Why? And what does that mean for his NBA career? But I just got the numbers for my fit. And it's always mine. Isn't even him who Houston and Graces. Some may continue to grow into their early 20s. When Giannis faced Wemby for the first time, he saw the rookie do insane things like a block on one end and handle like a guard. But he said he plays the right way. I've never seen.
Why couldn't I grow into my early 20s, bro? God should have made me at least 6'5". If I was 6'5", bro, I'd be in the league right now, probably preparing for a game. You know what I'm saying? I'd probably be preparing for the Western Conference Championship. Or no, the Eastern Conference Championship right now. You know what I'm saying?
Seen anything like him, but he is not 7'3". He is way taller. And whoever said he's 7'3", that's a lie.
Woo.
Really? So according to Giannis, Wemby already grew from before the draft to the middle of his rookie season, but apparently it hasn't stopped.
You're a 5'7" sophomore? Buddy, that's not bad. You could hit a growth spurt this summer. If you were a 5'7" freshman, and now it's the summer going into your sophomore year, you could hit a growth spurt this year. You know what you got to do? You got to eat a lot of bananas. You got to go to the monkey bars and hang on them for 30 minutes a day. Yeah, that's about it. Good luck, nigga.
Stopped yet. There are several recent photos that
eat your vitamins, eat your veggies, and eat meat. Pause. Just got to make sure you have your protein. Drink a lot of water, too.
All point to another growth spurt. And with these photos, we can determine how tall he might actually be right now. So photo number 1 is from early March. The Spurs official team picture. That's Wemby in the back, and a Spurs blog called Pounding the Rock did the math here. It's a little complicated, but stay with me. So Charles Bassey is 6'10" and clearly goes up to Wemby's mouth. Well, a human head is conservatively 1/8 the height of a person's body. So on a 7'4" Wemby, that would be 11 inches. But the mouth is a quarter of the way up the head. So that leaves 8¼ inches on top of Charles Bassey. Wemby is 7 foot 6¼ inches. But hey, that photo was like far away. We had to do some math. Let's keep it simple. Every Spurs Rookie of the Year posed for this picture in late April. Tim Duncan is listed at 6'11". David Robinson is 7'1".
Bro, David Robinson is 7'1", and we just watched a video of Hakeem Olajuwon straight barbecuing that nigga for a whole playoff series. That is crazy.
And Wemby is a lot taller than everyone. But how much taller? Well, Robinson is older, right? Like maybe he shrunk an inch or two, fine. But if we go to the mouth height again, that still puts Wemby at 7'6", closer to 7'7", which is crazy. But the latest photo is staggering. This is Wemby standing next to French prospect Maxime Reynaud in mid-May. Maxime is listed at 7¼ inches at the combine. So according to proportions, the top of the nose is the middle of the head, which means Wemby is about 5½ inches taller, making him 7 foot 7 inches tall.
Yeah, the league is cooked, my nigga. The league is cooked. The league is fucking cooked if this nigga is 7'7", bro. He's finna be the greatest rim protector in the history of the league.
And if you run that photo through a simulator, it also happens to say 7'7". So dude grew about 3+ inches since getting drafted.
What?
But who cares? So he's taller. What's the big deal? I mean, why are the Spurs trying to hide this? Well, in NBA history, there have been just 7 players who were 7'3" or taller to have notable careers. Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Kristaps Porzingis, and Arvydas Sabonis 7'3", Ralph Sampson, Rick Smits, Mark Eaton at 7'4", and 7'6" Yao Ming. And of those 7,
bro, this is really scary because all these niggas dealt with major injuries. Well, really not Porzingis, but that nigga's never on the court. Ilgauskas had a pretty good career. I don't really remember Ilgauskas being injured that much.
5 of them either missed an entire year with injury or had to retire because their body broke down.
Oh, damn.
In fact, almost every player in history over 7'1" had a career plagued with injuries. Wemby has already ended both seasons early, even though one was a blood clot. So the Spurs know, if we all found out about another growth spurt to around 7'6", 7'7", the entire NBA media would have a giant freak out. It would be wall-to-wall coverage on the day of that growth spurt announcement about Wemby's career being threatened. And every time he has a small little tweak, the media would immediately go to career ending. So they don't want all that stuff in his head like for the rest of his career. And obviously they're trying to protect him, listing him at like 7'3". 7'3" is a joke. But the Spurs also,
bro, imagine all the niggas that are this is what I be thinking about,
in
bro.
his head, like,
Imagine people that are this tall. Obviously, like, there's not a lot of people that are like 7'7", but just imagine all the 7-footers in the world that never made it to the league, that were never athletes, that are, cashiers, that are call center workers, that are I don't think a 7-foot nigga would be a construction worker. You gotta bend down a lot. But like 7-foot niggas that aren't professional athletes, bro, I bet you their life is rough, my nigga, because as a 7-foot person, you have to make a lot of money because everything has to be customized. Your clothes has to be customized, your car has to be customized, your bed has to be customized, your fucking house has to be customized, my nigga. Like, everything has to be customized for you because you're so fucking tall. That's a rough life to live. My uncle is 6'10", but he had knee surgery in high school but ain't make it. Damn, I bet, bro, I feel bad for them niggas that are like mad tall and got injured and were never able to get back to how they once were. Oh my goodness, bro. I would hate that life. I would hate being, bro, just imagine anywhere you go and you're 6'10", anywhere you go, niggas are gonna be looking at you like you're a fucking giraffe because it's not regular to see 6'10" niggas out in the world. So niggas are gonna be looking at you like you're a fucking giraffe. In any conversation you have, people are gonna say, "Did you play anywhere? Did you like they're gonna just ask sports questions." Like, and I know that shit probably gets annoying after a while, bro. Like, damn.
Rest of his career, and obviously they're trying to protect him, listing him at like 7'3". 7'3" is a joke. But the Spurs also believe those concerns. They secretly worry that Wemby's career might be a lot shorter than most. And how do we know that? Because Shams just reported something very strange about San Antonio.
They also have a ton of assets. They have tradable contracts. They have the number 2 pick. They have the number 14 pick in this year's draft. They have all their picks. Whether there's a
Man, they're not gonna trade Wemby, bro. Stop it.
player like a Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think a Kevin Durant's another guy that the Spurs, there was mutual interest in at the deadline. I think they're going to be
KD and Wemby?
looking very actively to see, is there a wing player we can bring in that could take us over the top?
Wow. So forget just Giannis. They might get Kevin Durant, 37-year-old Kevin Durant. Why would they trade real assets when Wemby is just 21 years old? Because they are afraid of his body. They know that Wemby's timeline might be super short, so they want to get a championship in while they can. This ain't like a Tim Duncan where they had a 19-year runway to win multiple titles. The Spurs know it might be a lot shorter than that.
So you got to
Plus,
make
with
that
the new
trade now.
CBA, it makes sense to load up on expensive vets now while Wemby is still on his rookie contract. But is this report even real? I mean, how do we know the Spurs are even thinking on that short little timeline? Because they already confirmed it by trading for De'Aaron Fox. Instead of trying to build slowly through the draft like the OKC Thunder.
Bro, I completely forgot the Spurs had De'Aaron Fox, bro. Oh my goodness, Giannis, this is literally a fucking layup, my nigga. Go to the god. Bro, if the Spurs are able to get Giannis and they don't give up De'Aaron Fox or Wemby, Spurs are championship 2026.
They started spending their draft assets to accelerate Wemby's timeline by surrounding him with win-now vets. But what would it actually take to get KD? Well, first of all, his natural position is small forward, which is an area of need for the Spurs. Last year, he scored 27 points per game on 53% from the field and 1.2 blocks. That is better than every Spurs player who played 55 plus games last season. But if the Suns want to demand that number 2 pick, it's not going to happen. The Spurs never overpay for players. So I think a 3-team deal might make it work. What about the Spurs get KD, the Suns get Nick Claxton, Keldon Johnson, the number 14 pick, and another one of those picks from the Hawks. The Nets get Devin Vassell and a 2029 first from the Spurs. So the Suns here would get a young big and Clax to pair with Devin Booker and the number 14 pick in this year's draft, which is a valuable cheap
Nah, I don't think the Spurs are going for KD, bro. I think they would rather have Giannis.
contract. The Nets do this because they get a shooter Vassell, who is a valuable piece in their new offense, plus a first-round pick. But obviously, the Spurs would prefer Giannis, who is 7 years younger than KD and still playing at an MVP level. Dude got 3rd in MVP this year. Yes, Giannis doesn't shoot, but Wemby took a huge leap there last year. Either way, it's pretty obvious. The Spurs feel pressure because of Wemby's new growth spurt. And it's still amazing to see a guy his size play like he does, but the taller Wemby gets, the more you have to worry about his long-term future in the NBA. But apparently another generational prospect's right around the corner. Cooper Flagg is about to get drafted number 1. All the reports say the Mavericks will not trade the pick. They are going with Cooper. But then we get another report, and it's just like the Mavs, isn't it? They might actually try a plan with Cooper that could completely ruin his career before it even starts.
What? What are they talking about? This was a good video, though. I ain't gonna cap. Bro, Wemby growth spurt? That's crazy. That's crazy.